All right, independent living students, welcome to the Get a Job presentation lecture. In this presentation lecture, we're going to go through the steps to take while job hunting, including a 3-step process, which will start with a resume, moving on to the cover letter. We'll also be talking about the application process, and we'll talk about the interview process as well. So let's get started. One of the first things you need to know as a potential employee is, where can I look to find a job? So if I am actively in the market looking for employment, how do I look to find openings that could be interesting to me? Well, there's a number of different places to be able to find available jobs, one of them being newspapers. Newspapers isn't quite as common as it has been in the past, because of our movement to electronics and technology in our fingertips. So a lot of the digital media that we receive comes to us via phone, other device, or even computer. TV and radio advertisements is another way to find a job. We will see these routinely in commercials on TV as well as radio while we're listening to common programming. You will also see advertisements for jobs on billboards. So as you are driving around town up and down 41, pay attention to those billboards and see what possible job openings might be available to you. Online. This is becoming the more common way for individuals to search for jobs. So you can go to a specific employer's website to inquire about job openings. You can use job search engines, which are very popular. Google, Indeed, LinkedIn, Career Builder, just a couple of examples. You can also go to specific sites for careers. For example, if you're looking to get into the education field, you might go to WECAN, which is an acronym. Those are for education jobs. There's Ag Careers. There's CPA, Job Finder for CPA jobs or accountants. Once you have found your job of choice, now you can go through the process of applying for that job. So when it comes to job applications, there's a couple of different possibilities for submitting a job application. One might be an online. Online means you might have to fill out a questionnaire or an application form on an employer's website or through a search engine, or possibly on paper, which is simply you sitting down with the application and a pen, answering the questions and filling out the application with the most accurate and current data possible. When you are filling out job applications, it is very important to remember a couple of things. Number one, no abbreviations. Don't abbreviate anything. Anything that you fill out, make sure that it's spelled out completely. Make sure that the spelling is correct. I have known potential employers to discard resumes and cover letters and applications if the applicant is unable to spell correctly. So make sure that you spell and grammar check before submitting. Leave nothing blank. Any question that is being asked, make sure that you have an answer for it. Even if you're not sure or it does not apply, indicate that in your response. Make sure your information is accurate. I have seen individuals who have lost their position or not been offered a position because of inaccurate information on an application or a resume or a cover letter. So make sure all information submitted is accurate. Make sure that it is complete. So make sure that you are completely answering questions and indicating what you need to communicate to that employer in the application. References. A lot of employers are going to ask for references. They're going to look for individuals that they can call to check on your character and your work ethic. In order to put a reference on a resume or indicate a reference in a cover letter, make sure to get permission from that individual before including that individual as a reference on an application. And then also you will see posted in Classroom, there's going to be a couple of video resources. We will also be going through these in class. They will help you as you go through your job search. There's a Ben Bailey video, as well as filling out a job application. So these will be posted in Classroom, and we will talk about them in class as well. But they are resources for you to use and reference at any time. Okay, let's take a look at the resume. So the resume is going to be a summary of you as an individual as well as your work and educational history. There are a number of different formats that you can use. You have been exposed to completing resumes in Zello, in which we will continue with that in class as well, in updating those. Choose what information to include. So you need to make sure, because resumes can't be a 9-page document. Resumes are typically a 1 to 2 page document. So you need to choose carefully what information you want included in your resume. As with the application, again, no abbreviations. Spell everything out completely. Make sure you spell check. Everything is spelled correctly. And make sure the information is accurate. So no matter what step of the application process you are in, filling out an application, completing a resume, or the cover letter, these are always going to apply. Make sure to keep it updated. As things change in your life, as education starts, you go through your education process, which means that you are completing grades, completing different levels of education. Include those. If you change jobs, if you have an additional skill, make sure that you are updating your resume regularly. Now, you may have different information depending upon the jobs that you are applying. So you make sure that your resume is current for the particular job application that you're going to be sending. Then there's also a cover letter. Cover letter is also sent with the resume when it is turned into the employer. It is a letter of introduction introducing yourself as a potential employee candidate. It's going to be an expansion on the resume. So there might be a summary, there might be a little bit more detail included in the cover letter that is going to reference to the resume. It is more personal information. Remember, as a job applicant, you are trying to sell yourself to your employer or potential employer. You want to compel the person to hire you over others. How are you going to make yourself stand out? What is going to make that employer look at this cover letter, read this, and say, this is a candidate that we need to learn more about? Again, as indicated multiple times, correct spelling, correct grammar. It's also going to have to include a signature. Now, the signature is going to indicate to the employer that the cover letter information, as well as the resume included, is all accurate, and you are signing your name indicating that it is accurate. Then, hopefully, you receive what's called the phone call. All right, so this is usually a call that is received by you, the applicant, from the possible employer, requesting for you to come in for an interview. In this phone call, you obviously want to speak clearly. Speak clearly to find out exactly what the intentions of the employer are in regards to the phone call. Make sure to use proper language. Do not speak in slang. Thank them for the consideration. And then also, when it comes time to find out the particulars and details of the interview, make sure that you write them down, including time, location, callback number, etc. Now it's time to prepare for the interview. So when it comes to time to prepare for the interview, here's some things you want to do. Learn about the company. Research the organization that you are interviewing. Take a look at their website. Reference online reviews. Maybe talk to others who have been employed by this particular company or are currently employed. Make sure to plan for travel. You never want to be late for an interview. So make sure that you leave early. Leave extra time in case of construction or in case of weather so that you are not late. Make sure you have the proper paperwork ready to go. Your resume, your cover letter, a portfolio or examples of work that you have completed that might apply to this interview and to this organization as well as the position that you are applying. And then obviously you want to continually practice. Have individuals ask you common interview questions. Practice giving your response in order to prepare for the interview. When it comes to the job interview, you want to dress neatly. Dress business professional. Okay, do not come in blue jeans, do not come in t-shirts, do not come in untucked shirts. Okay, and ladies, you want to make sure that you are business professional as well. Dresses, any type of business suit would be very, very appropriate. Make sure that you greet with a handshake, a firm handshake indicating that your interest and your confidence in your abilities to this interview. Make sure you make eye contact with all individuals who are conducting the interview. Answer using proper language. Again, no slang. Make sure to sit up straight, be professional, do not slouch. And also remember, at the job interview, there's going to be an opportunity for you to ask questions of the organization or the individuals who are interviewing you. Make sure that they are specific to the job, they relate to the company. Make sure you understand the timeline for hiring. When can you expect to be receiving a phone call whether or not you have been selected or not? And when should you be able to expect to hear from them regarding the next step in this process? And then always, always, always thank them for their time. After the interview, it's very common for an employee to do a follow-up. This is a call or letter that is written thanking for the opportunity. Sometimes this is even done via email. If you don't hear by the time indicated, make sure to call and follow up yourself, just in case something might have fallen through the cracks. Maybe the interviewer got sidetracked, something came up within the organization which adjusted their timetable. So make sure to call and inquire. If you are hired, once again, say thank you. Even if you are not hired, say thank you and ask what you could have done differently or why they decided to go with someone else. It's always important information to get, because when you go into your next interview, obviously you do not want to make the same mistakes twice. And this concludes the Getting a Job presentation lecture. Please make sure that you go through this, answer all of the embedded questions that are accompanied with this, and feel free to reference this resource at any time as you prepare for your first job.